Hey everyone, this is Ryan. Today we're talking about Zenon Network, the network of momentum. Now, a couple of weeks ago, around the beginning of March, I did a top 3 altcoins for 2021 video highlighting 3 projects that I have considerable personal investments in, Orion Protocol, Energy Web Token, and Zenon Network. Now, I had a few comments and people messaging me after that saying, Orion, great, Energy Web, great, but what is Zenon? Like, we don't know what Zenon Network is. Can you provide more information? And I think this is the perfect time to do it because over the next few weeks and month or two, I think Zenon could be doing some really big things. So I want to explain in this video why I'm personally pretty involved with Zenon Network. So first of all, what is Zenon? So Zenon, the network of momentum, is what they name their protocol. Basically, they say it's an evolutionary step in distributed ledger technology, enabling an efficient trust layer for transfer of value and data globally. Based on a network of momentum, it proposes a new type of architecture designed to overcome the limitations of current blockchain or DAG-based cryptocurrencies. So basically, they're trying to overcome current limitations that we have in crypto, speed, security, transaction costs, scalability. They're basically trying to solve all of those into one protocol and provide something that is fast, cheap, secure to deploy decentralized applications on, and really make it attractive for developers to do that. And in this video, we're going to go into why, and we're going to go into a few reasons why I think this could just really explode this year. Now, first of all, I don't want you to consider this video investment advice or financial advice. This is for education. This is for you to encourage you to go and look into this for yourself and decide if it meets your own risk profile for your investments, okay? And the reason I say that is because, one, don't take financial advice from YouTubers, and two, this is a fully anonymous project, okay? So we don't know who is behind this, no matter how much you look into it, all right? Now, usually that would be a red flag for me, and I would not put much money or any money, in some cases, in anonymous projects, okay, where you can't look into the team. However, after looking into this kind of summer 2020, I got into this in late summer, so I've been in this kind of 8-9 months now. After being in the community for that long, I have enough information and enough kind of experience dealing with them and the community to be comfortable that this is legit. This is being backed by some very big experienced players, and I personally am comfortable having a considerable investment in Zenon. Like I said, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying go and look into it if it interests you and decide if you're comfortable with it. You really need to research this one because there's a lot to go into, okay? So now we've said that, let's go into why I like this project so much. So the anonymous thing brings up a couple of other points, okay? So we don't know who is behind it, but from what I can see and the research that I've done, the experience that I've had, this is being backed by some big, very professional players with a lot of money. I personally think that it's either one or a group of corporations, maybe somewhat tied to crypto, maybe not, that are at this point choosing to stay anonymous and building this project potentially for their own use along with other people who want to use their layer one, okay? Now, a couple of reasons why I say that. After being in the community for around 9 months, everything just has like a corporate, very professional feel to it. The communication, the graphics, the branding, the way that they're just under the radar building, they don't hype things up. They're basically all just about building the project. And like I said, everything they do and say just has a corporate feel. However, more to the point, the question that really comes up is where is this funded from? Because they did some fundraising a few years ago to basically pay to build this protocol. And they gave all the money back. So a completely anonymous team raises a bunch of Bitcoin. They could have kept it. There was no promise to give it back over a certain time period, but they just gave it all back. So the question is then, well, where is this funding coming from? Okay, who's been paying a team of obviously highly skilled developers for the past 3 years to build this thing if they didn't raise any money, okay? So I personally, after looking into this and researching this, I think this is being backed by some very, very big players. And maybe we'll find out who they are in the future. Maybe we won't. There's a lot of speculation about who they are. I'm not going to go into conspiracies in this video, but it's fun to look into. And I suggest you, come to your own conclusions once you start looking into this. So we know that Zenon is a layer 1. Now, even with Ethereum, positive news and things about scaling and things like that coming out over the last few weeks, other layer 1s are still doing fantastic, okay? The ones everybody knows. So Elrond currently sitting 2 billion market cap. Avalanche almost 4.5 billion. Hathor Network's been doing great and has got still, not even got started in my opinion. Once you start looking into Zenon, which is currently 100 million market cap, 110 after a nice little run up. I did my first video around here when it was about $10 around the 1st of March. It's doubled since then. When you start looking into this, there's a lot of things to say that technically what Zenon are building is superior to these other layer 1s. Okay, there's a lot of ways where a lot of ways where what they're building seems to be a lot better. Now, a lot of you are going to think, okay, well, what does that mean? I need you to explain that. You can't just say that without backing it up and things like that. I'm not a developer. I'm not the best person to explain that. But I'm going to give you the resources right now where you can go and really dive into this. So obviously the white paper is the first one to read. Second is going to be this article in Hacker Noon called How Not to Fracture a Layer 1 Chain. I'll link to this below. It basically just goes over why the Zenon framework and the way they're building is superior to kind of other blockchain and DAG models right now. It's a very interesting read. It's a tough read. I had to read it probably 3 or 4 times to really, get an understanding of it. But, I would definitely recommend that you do that. And then after you've done that, read this guide, which I will also link to below, which is basically everything that you need to know, all the resources, all the speculation, all the things we know, a few things that we think we know, the tokenomics, the dual coin mechanism. Everything is in this article from one of the OG community members. Loads of infographics in here. Everything that you need to know about Zenon is in here. So go through this a couple of times as well. Now, what I'm going to do here is highlight a couple of key points that should really get you interested in Zenon and encourage you to go and learn more and check out these resources. Okay, so a couple of tweets. First one, this is going on right now. Okay, this is where we are today. It's March the 18th, 2021. Currently, we're in private testnet. The feedback from people that are in that is that it's incredible, kind of mind-blowing. I'm not in it, but I'm very, very pleased with what I'm hearing for the people who are. Incentivized public testnet is the next stage, followed by AlphaNet and then the mainnet. We're kind of expecting all of this to happen in the next few weeks and months, okay? A portion of the community thinks that the 21st of March in a couple of days is going to be a key date for one of these things, okay? So I think it's very timely to start looking into this now. I'm personally buying a bit more right now. I have pretty much everything I want, but I'm still, when some comes available at a good price in the order books, which is not very often, I'm picking it up if I can before, in case this takes off like I think it's going to. So a little bit more about the technology. Okay, so Zenon Network Train is fast leaving. Few things: Bitcoin interoperability and smart contracts on top of Bitcoin. So there's a lot of the community, a little bit of speculation. Some of it is somewhat confirmed that these guys are working hardcore on Bitcoin interoperability that could potentially open up DeFi on Bitcoin, so decentralized finance on Bitcoin, and basically allowed you to do things that are just not possible on the Bitcoin network right now when Zenon is fully up and running. Okay, so like I said, there's half speculation and kind of connecting dots and half confirmed by the team. So we're really interested to see what that's going to look like. AlphaNet is coming soon, as we just covered. Small market cap. And the scarcity of this coin is incredible. There's going to be 8.5 million in circulation a year after the mainnet release, and the mainnet is not even out yet. Won't be for another month or so. So very, very low in terms of the total supply and circulating supply of the coin, and it's only It's only $20 today, about 100 million market cap. This is going to be a pretty unique infrastructure. So when you start to dive into this, the way that they're building it with the basically the dual ledger infrastructure, DAG and kind of block lattice combination. They're going to have two coins that have two different functions that can be both earned from staking and delegation, which you'll find out about when you start reading into this. And they've also got oracles built in at the protocol level. So built into their layer one, which I think is pretty interesting. So a lot of what they're doing is very unique and hasn't been done before. In terms of the scarcity, even with a really, really low supply, like 8.5 million after a year after launch, the amount of these coins is going to be locked up is very, very high. A lot of these are going to be staked, locked up into different kinds of nodes. There's two levels of nodes, like two sizes. I have the smaller one. So a lot of coins are going to be locked up in those and in staking. So, when this thing launches, everything points to this being very, very scarce, very, very hard to get hold of. And as a side note for that, the rewards for nodes and staking are very, very good. Some of the best that I have seen. And you can read all about the tokenomics in this article, which I'll link to below, which explains like their dual coin approach and what the two coins do and things like that. The next is going to be a little bit of a point on the funding here. So again, it's been funded by individuals who thought they were funding the project and then got all their money back. So it's this fully anonymous team that have somehow funded this for 3 years. It's completely under the radar. No one's really talking about it right now, but I feel that when this kind of, makes its announcements and, stops being so kind of reserved with what they say, and they actually have more to show, and the partnerships start coming out, which we know are being formed and already have been formed behind the scenes. I think this is going to be kind of like holding a basketball underwater or a beach ball underwater, and it's just going to explode. Couple of other things. So what happens when you combine state-of-the-art, massive scalable, distributed ledger technology with major industry partners and all these other things that we've covered, but the major industry partners is the one I want to hit on here, because these guys have come up with a way to at launch and over the weeks and months following launch, they've come up with a way to partner with a number of large players in the crypto community by basically giving them vested pillars or vested nodes that will encourage them to bring their communities into Zenon. So everything that I've read about this, looks like they have a very solid plan to have really high levels of utilization from day one by forming big partnerships with some very, very respected people in the crypto space. So again, I think that nobody knows who these are right now. We're just kind of trusting the team on this, but like I said, my experience with this team, I do trust that these are there. And I think when they start getting released, they're going to be bigger than people think, and they're really gonna take everybody by surprise. When you have that mixed with a kind of very, very low supply of the coin and a community that just won't sell it, I think the price action with these releases could really be great. And this is all about that. So there's this article I'll link to. This program is called Zenon Fabric. It's basically kind of where they are using vested nodes to bring all kinds of other communities into the Zenon ecosystem and make sure that there is huge demand and utilization from day one. And I will link to this below so that you can read it. The last thing I want to go through is just the supply on exchanges. So Mercatops right now, 2,000 coins total for sale. Crex24 has less than 800. Balaxy eyeballing 6,000, something like that, and then there's another 5,300 on Stacks. Okay, so that's it. That's the entire market for Zenon right now if you're not buying OTC. Okay, so there are going to be big tier 1 exchanges. We've been told when the mainnet is live. Right now you have to kind of buy either OTC through a trusted group, which you can find in their Telegram, or you have to pick up bits and pieces where you can, which is, that's just what I've done. I've bought my entire allocation through these various exchanges, mostly on Mercatox, a little bit of a time. So it's possible to get this. It's not too difficult. You just have to be patient. You can market buy. I do that sometimes. You can use limit orders and help you get a few filled, which I do. It just takes a while. So slow and steady accumulation. I will still be accumulating this for a while just because it's so scarce. And I'm never worried about buying the top on this, just because the way I feel about the project and its long-term long-term potential. So I hope that gives you somewhat of an idea of what Zenon's about, why I'm so bullish on it. I really think that this could kind of come out of nowhere in 2021 and surprise a lot of people. Like I said, go into it, look into it for yourself, ask questions in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be putting out more on Zenon. And yeah, just dive into it. And I hope you get as interested in it as I am. Bear in mind, it is anonymous. It fits my risk profile. Make your own decision about whether it fits yours. And we'll see how Zenon does in 2021. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.